To our ball and co-chair people, Brooke and Rod Edmond, Samantha and Tyrese Gibson, Marcia and Ryan Glover. This evening's honoree, the Alliance Theater, our sponsors, special guests, and friends. First, let me say thank you for inviting me to speak. I'm delighted to be here and to be given this opportunity to stand before you all and share my experience with Camp XI. I would like to thank the Call Beautiful Mind Foundation for their work and for hosting this evening's gala. I gave a speech last week in ROTC, and my teacher said I was both original and good. Unfortunately, the parts that were original weren't that good, and the parts that were good were original. But don't worry, I promise to do better tonight. Before I get started, I'd like to ask if everybody could please stand. Okay. Please take a half step back. Now take a half step up. Please take a half step to the left and to the right. Thank you all. Please be seated. Thank you. I did that because before I left home, my grandmother told me, Yancy Quinn, tonight, move the crowd, baby. So thank you all. This speech is off to such a great start. Okay. My name is Yancy Quinn Richardson, and I'm 13 years old. This summer, I spent 3 weeks with one of the most diverse group of kids. They were smart, talented, energetic, bright, brilliant, funny, creative, and eccentric. For 3 weeks, I honestly thought to myself, dang, I really lucked up on a very culturally cool crew of kids. Their experience at Camp XI was empowering and life-changing. We pushed boundaries and made connections. We were supported and challenged by Camp XI program in ways we didn't expect, ways that were slightly different from our own traditional thinking. It's difficult in a few short moments to explain the true measure of our accomplishments, but I'll try to share a few of the experiences and insights we gained from being a part of Camp XI. When I was writing up my notes at home, what I'd say to you, my dad told me, be accurate, be brief, then be seated. So tonight, I promise, I'll be as brief as possible, no matter how long it takes. In a 3-week span, we met, brainstormed an idea, developed characters, wrote a script, designed a set, created film set positions, directed, shot, and edited a film starring us. A front row seat into the film industry. I know, it sounds like a lot in 3 weeks, right? Well, it was. In addition to shooting a film, we went on 3 field trips, had 4 class speakers, a crash course in aerial filming from a flying drone, and somehow we managed to fit in a little lunch from Atlanto's Antico Pizza. With a quick mentoring session from one of the coolest mom and dads around, and also the founders of Kyle's Beautiful Mind, Marcia and Ryan Glover. The group activities were excellent. There were plenty of trips, like the one to SCAD Theater to see a preview of Toy Story 4. It was an amazing movie. Before we even watched the movie, we saw some animated shorts from the students at SCAD. The graphics had so much detail. Toy Story 4 had a beautiful story. The graphics were a total upgrade from the first movie. After we watched the movie, there was a question and answer period where we spoke to Neil Him, one of the lead animators on Toy Story 4. It was pretty cool to talk animation from an animator's perspective. Our visit to Swirl Films was pretty cool also. We visited the set of Dwight in Shining Armor. The sets looked so real. We were able to see how they edited the special effects and sounds into the show, as well as where they got a lot of their set props from. In between field trips, we got right back to working on our film. I was the first assistant director, and I also acted in the film. I played Rose, a mentor to the other kids in the movie. Shooting this film wasn't just a walk in the park. There were some obstacles we had to overcome. For instance, there was one shot we really wanted to get, but there were many people at the location, and we had to creatively come up with another idea of where we could shoot. Then there was the cutting room floor. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, do we take this out or that out? Do we take out the right scene? Will our film make sense to people who are watching it without a scene? I mean, who are these people telling us that we need to take out a scene? This is our art. 11 young Ava DuVernays and Spike Lees shooting some of the most epic cinema of our lives. This was our film. Camp XI did an awesome job surrounding us with information and motivation. And in 3 weeks, we had quite a few speakers from the film industry come in and talk about their jobs and different paths they took to get there. A casting director from Swirl Films, an alumni from Scaff College, and my favorite, the lifestyle specialist, Revolt TV executive, Kenny Burns. He was great. He encouraged us to seize the opportunity ahead of us and make the most of it. He talked about having a vision and transforming our dreams into reality. The program director, Cece Leon, pushed us to take risks. She required our 100% and expected greatness and accepting nothing less. Camp XI's message was clear. They celebrated our diversity and, like Kyle, wanted to ensure us that we never settled or let anyone box us in. We knew it was okay to be different, even when it wasn't popular. They said if we stuck to those principles, then we'd experience long-term success. KBM gave us an opportunity to be creative and take a project from infancy, develop it, and implement our collective ideas. Through our film, we were able to be curious and creative. We were eager to share and explore experiences that ended up shaping our storyline, and like Kyle, the film allowed us to be expressive. We became filmmakers. It should also be noted that spending my summer making a movie had the all-out cool factor that made the work and experience worth having, if for nothing other than bragging rights. This was definitely a great way to spend my summer. I am so grateful to the Kyle Beautiful Mind Foundation and all of its supporters, staff, volunteers, and sponsors. Because of you all, I was able to experience something I will never forget. I look forward to many more years working with KBM in some form or fashion as I enter high school. With all great organizations, there are challenges and great opportunities. And with everyone's help this evening, we will meet some of them and make next year's Camp XI the best year in our history. So thank you so much for making such a big difference in our lives and giving me an opportunity. Have a blessed evening. Thank you.